Grace to you and peace from me and from Shelby the church dog here, who maybe you can tell, maybe not from the way she's laying down, but who is wearing her best Halloween sweater. And I don't know if you can tell, but I also have on my best Halloween socks. And if you can't tell by those two things alone, today we're going to be talking about Halloween, which is an awesome and fun holiday. So this is the time of year when people like to hang goblins and ghouls and all the macabre all around. And it's also the time of year when the internet is full of churches saying absolutely ridiculous things about how the celebration of Halloween opens you up to something demonic. And I have a real problem with that. Because Halloween is not a demonic holiday. Halloween is not a dark holiday. Halloween is a religious holiday in its roots. It is a deeply Christian holiday in its roots. And that's something that we forget. So I want to talk a little bit today about what Halloween is and where it came from. So I don't think it's fair to say what something is without talking about what it is now. And in a big sense, modern Halloween comes with some very commercialized connotations. It's often just another opportunity to sell you kitsch or things you don't need. And take that for what it is. You can't go into any store and not already see plenty of Halloween stuff that you don't need and plenty of Christmas stuff that you probably don't need, but that doesn't make either one of those holidays any less beautiful. So Halloween, originally, as it comes to us, is All Hallows Eve. And All Hallows Eve is sort of a Christmas Eve for All Saints' Day, or in early modern English, All Hallows Day. And All Saints' Day originally began as a way of marking those saints who were known and unknown, those saints who were remembered, and those saints who were forgotten. So Saints' Days as a whole really kind of emerged early in the life of the church as a way to remember those who had been martyred. But by the 5th or 6th century, there had been so many people that were martyred that it was hard to keep track of them all, or hard to give all of them their due and recognition. And so they started celebrating a single day in which we would commemorate all of those saints who'd gone before us. And by the beginning of the 9th century, it was celebrated pretty universally on November 1st throughout most of the church throughout the world. So as we know Halloween, and as we know All Saints' Day, it really kind of comes to us through the English and Scottish traditions as they came to the United States. So in those traditions, All Saints' Day was a day when we remembered, as I said, those saints who are remembered and those saints who are forgotten, those saints who are known and those saints who are unknown. But it also became an opportunity to remember those who've gone before us in the faith, those whose baptisms are completed, those who have entered the church triumphant or their eternal rest, those who are in the presence of God, those who we've loved and have lost. And it became an opportunity to remember family members and friends and loved ones who are no longer with us. And so on All Saints' Day, there would typically be services of remembrance that would happen at the church. Often there were festivals in town squares. And typically, it would be a day when families would go out to cemeteries to visit the graves of their loved ones. And on All Hallows Eve, they would gather in their homes as families and eat together and celebrate and remember their loved ones who are no longer with them, which is a really beautiful tradition that I think deserves to be recaptured. I think there's something really beautiful to, on Halloween, gathering with friends and family and loved ones and celebrating. Whether it's celebrating in memory of those who are no longer with us, or just celebrating the gift that life is beautiful and short and worth giving thanks for. So the term Halloween is either a contraction of All Hallows Eve, like All Hallows Evening, shortened into Halloween, or there's still parts of Britain and of Ireland that use the term ween to refer to children, like wee one, wean, ween. And so in that sense, Halloween was the way that children celebrate All Hallows Eve. That while adults gather with their families to remember those who've gone before them, the children go out door to door dressed in costumes and celebrate in their own way, in the way that only children can celebrate the gift that is life. So what that comes down to is that far from being a celebration of anything opposed to life, Halloween is really the celebration of life that prepares us for All Saints' Day, that prepares us to give thanks for those who've gone before us, that prepares us to remember those who we have loved and lost. And I think that that is beautiful. So this Halloween, I just want to invite you to celebrate, to find an excuse to eat that extra piece of candy that you might have passed on, but it's just sitting there in the bowl. You might as well have it. Or to gather with friends and family and to celebrate, to put on a costume and have some fun, to dress your dog up in a silly sweater, to put on your orange and black socks and just give thanks that this is an opportunity for life. And if you want to throw up some cobwebs or a little, hocus pocus sign out front or whatever it might be, go ahead, have fun. It's a really beautiful day because it's a day that's about life. It's a day that prepares us to remember those whose baptisms are complete and who, in the love of God, remain with us in that great cloud of witnesses. So I want to wish you a happy Halloween from me, from the Community House family, and from Shelby the church dog. And maybe more importantly, we want to wish you a happy All Saints' Day. Have fun.